Hey, Janice.
Hi, Katie.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Same. All
Yeah,
right. It looks like everybody's here. So
yeah,
much chat.
we've got a lot of folks showing up today.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, bead embroidery is popular, Kate.
it is. It is
It's
popular.
yeah, yeah.
You
I
know,
wonder why.
well, I love the bead embroidery. It's so much fun. Oh, I'm going through. Yes, everybody's saying how much they're loving it. Um, it's such an interesting um medium. We
Hmm.
can do there's so much you can do. You can do things that are more like craft oriented. You can do things that are more couture oriented. It really runs the gamut, right?
Hmm.
I was looking this morning. I follow this fiber artist. His name is Franklin Habit, and some of you may know Franklin. He has a Patreon. He's been in the knitting world and fiber world. He used to have this great blog called the Panopticon. That was probably 15 years ago. But Franklin used to live in the States and now he's located to France. He lives in Paris now. And on for this company, it's called Modern Daily Knitting. Modern Daily Knitting does these great newsletters. I urge you to sign up for their newsletters. Well, Franklin just went to, I saw it on his socials, and I'm a member of his Patreon. I saw on his socials, he just went to this like embroidery kind of couture kind of show in a small place in France, like a small museum or something. And I'm not remembering the exact one. But he showed this piece, and it's on his Instagram. You can find him also on his Insta. He showed this piece that it's a blouse that this woman embroidered throughout the Second World War. She was a Parisian. And she would embroider it during the occupation. And on the day that Paris was liberated, she wore the blouse. And the blouse has the red or the blue, white, and red, the tricolor, the poppies, whatever the lilies, and whatever maybe cornflowers were the blue flowers. It had La Victoire on the cuff, and it had an American flag for the liberators. It just got me, you know,
Mm.
and that when we ply our needles or when we stitch our stitches or string our beads, not only are we making statements for ourselves, but we're making statements about our world as well. And so this piece, survived. It survived the war, right? It survived to be in this museum. So I urge you, go find him on Insta. I didn't want to like put the picture up because I didn't talk to Franklin about using it on the broadcast, but you can find it there. He really writes some really interesting things, and he goes to these interesting places and posts a lot about fiber arts and stuff. But this one was all about embroidery, and it really
Hmm.
made me think about, we're plying our needles for good for sure, right? So I urge you to go see it. It's a beautiful blouse, and it has the flowers across here, and it's just a simple rayon, very French, very chic. But it really inspires me to do more embroidery for sure.
Mm.
So
Well, last Friday, Kate, I posted some pictures. I will also
yeah,
put them on the Beat blog of the show of in Richmond here of Christian Siriano,
yeah.
um, and the bead embroidery. Um, I don't know if you have any of those
Yeah,
pictures.
I'm looking right now because since
Um,
they're your pictures, I can totally share them. Let me see. I've got
yeah,
it here.
sorry everyone. If I knew more about how to share them on a live show, I would, but that's what Kate does. I can't do
That's
her
why I'm
job.
here. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. So it was just um it was just literally pitch perfect. And he did he did a gown for Haley Berry in all mirrors, and it wasn't mirrors that were cracked and then glued back together. It was more like a Zentangle where he
Right.
did sections, and then each little piece of mirror had a pinpoint hole in the corner of it so that they could be stitched on to a piece of organza. And
Mm-hmm.
then the side of the gown um, had just the organza netting so that when worn, you could move in it. Otherwise, if it was all mirrors all the way around, the mirrors don't stretch.
No, it
So,
was really incredible. It says
yeah,
it's in my photo gallery. I'm looking for them. I bet they're
yeah.
here.
Well, I don't know if I did the plus sign, would I get it? We should have done
No,
this beforehand.
Miranda, no, I think I can get it. I think I can get it right. Um, let me see. Can I
Well,
open
while
it?
you're
Oh
doing
yeah,
that,
here we
I'm
go,
going to
JP.
show everybody the bracelet that we worked on last week. I
Oh yeah,
finished
and
it.
I'm gonna do some of these. Do you want your? Let me put your other camera up. It's right here,
Okay.
and you
Okay.
can show
This,
them that because
okay.
I really want them to see these photos. They're so delicious.
Yeah. This was the bracelet that we worked on last week where we gave, it's on 014 Softlex, and we gave each end a haircut and then looped it through. I think it's up on the, we didn't name it. That's what's happening, everybody. We're moving so
Yeah.
quickly
It'll
that,
get up to before the end of the week. It's on my list, JP, I promise
yeah,
you.
but there was a movie that was, If It's Tuesday, This Must Be Belgium.
Right?
Did you ever see that movie? It was
No, but
kind
I've
of a
heard of it.
rom-com,
I love it.
and you never knew where you were going next. You know, the tour guides just took you where you were going. And um,
There we go.
that's what's going on at Beadshop. We're moving so quickly that honestly, everyone, we don't know what we're doing until the day of.
Well, that's not
2 days. 2 days.
completely true,
Okay.
Janice. You're painting kind of a crazy. I mean, we
It's
do have
pretty.
our calendar. We
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. And we are getting ready for the Great Bead
We
Extravaganza,
are.
which
I'm
is
very
in April.
excited.
Yes.
It's just
Um,
that, everybody is having to do more with less, but we're doing our best.
can you take my camera off now?
Yeah,
That
hang
other
on.
camera? Yeah, so
Let me show you a couple of these here. Hang on, let me just do this. Whoops, that's not right. Delete.
that's February.
Sorry, that's February. Sorry, I needed to add another file here. One last one. There we go. Okay, so JP, this
Yes.
was one of the ones that I really loved
Yes.
from the
Eh,
exhibit.
yes. And I'm having a brain freeze as to who wore it.
It's
It
really
might be in
fantastic.
the other photo of it, the front photo I took of. Yes, this is just,
Look at that piece. And
yes.
then here's the dress, um,
Yes.
which I just love. And there's a detail of that. And that's something that we're going to be working towards today a little bit. Look at how great that kind of scattered embroidery is.
Yes.
And then there's this one. Look at that dress with the contrast, just the simple edging on
It's
the
just
tulle. Isn't
exquisite.
it gorgeous?
It was at the Branch Museum, which is a very small museum in Richmond. It's a little gem. It was the former home of the Branch family. Um, he signed like the Declaration of Independence or
Mm,
something.
right.
Um, and they've turned it into a museum, and it's just the show. If anyone wants to go, I'll go again. It's there until the middle of March or
I
March
love it.
20th. It's at the Branch Museum. reach out to me and I'll meet you there, and then we'll go have some tea.
So fun.
Yeah, it's just, or a drink. We'll
Yeah,
go have a
yeah,
drink.
whatever. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, these are really look at the detail on that.
Yeah,
Isn't that
yeah,
fantastic?
yeah.
Really great.
It's
Well, I just love these couture techniques, I think it's really interesting in that when we embellish our like, I'm wearing this is a shirt that I made a while back.
fantastic.
It was for the it was the Queen's Jubilee. It was either the Queen's Jubilee or it was Charles's, coronation. I can't remember which
That
one.
is all one shirt?
It is, it's all one shirt. See, look, I did 2 collars. Look, a
Yeah,
short little collar,
yeah.
right? So it's a double like this. I don't know, I kinda made it kinda kooky,
It's
right?
fantastic.
And it has the hidden British flag, Union Jack on the inside, and then on the back, can you see it?
Yes, we can see. It's just fantastic.
And then I did one here at the bottom. There's the Mrs. Windsor silhouette here on the bottom. I know that right now there's a little bit of problematic things going on with the House of Windsor, but you know, I this was kind of a fun tribute to the coronation and stuff. So I think when we are embellishing our clothes, when we're making our clothes, and then I have, the ties
Yeah.
that we're working on. It's kind of a fun sartorial statement, right? I like that a lot. And I think that with like these pieces, like this Siriano piece, Janice, that you shared, I just love this jacket. Repurposing. You could get a jacket like that,
Hmm.
the the go to the thrift and get a great suit jacket and embellish.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to kind of create your own looks and stuff, especially adding that bead embroidery. It's so great.
Could we show Winnie's wreath
Yes.
now?
So let's talk about a little bit about let's let this flow into our new products.
Okay.
And why don't you talk about this piece that we have here?
Okay. So this, I actually wish I had it, but I don't. Ashley has it. Uh,
Oh, that's what okay.
yeah, Winnie made it for Ashley. And Winnie van der Rijn is an artist. She used to work, some of you may know her. She's so talented. She's an amazing artist. And she took a box, well, more like a tackle box, not like a small box, but a large box of Lydia's, my mother's old rhinestone pins and brooches and shoe buckles, just all what we used to call the junk jewelry. And she created a wreath. She covered one of those, I guess, Joann's or Michael's wreaths with
Mhm.
cream colored satin, and then just attached, glued or sewed all of these different things that were in the box. And I've been going down memory lane recently about, where did rhinestones come from, and, Austrian versus Czech, and where's everything from. And it's really interesting that a lot of these things come from when I was either young, very young, or before.
Mhm.
And like an interesting, factoid, Aurora Borealis, which is such a popular coating, I didn't know it came about in 1955.
Mm.
I thought, oh, it was here long before that. No, it was, yes, it is spectacular, Margaret. Um, and everyone who's saying it's great. It really is, Lorraine. Um, it's a treasure in our home. It really is. And
Mhm.
I bet if we took it apart, there probably some signed pieces, some signed pins on that, like Weiss, the old
Yeah,
Weiss, which
Miriam
is,
Haskell.
yeah, Haskell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, but to learn the history of where the lead crystal came from and the rhinestones, it's just really fascinating, and
Mhm.
it's like the history of Europe.
Yeah.
Like you can look at beads and go, well, Czech crystal, Czech glass actually has been made for 400-500 years.
Yeah.
They've been making all kinds of glass, and
Yeah.
most of which I didn't realize, most or much of the African trade beads actually came from Bohemia,
Mhm.
that went to Africa.
Mhm.
I've been going down memory lane and thinking about the old sample bead cards, and um, like uh, Preciosa, who are they? They're like really, really old. They've been a company around for a really long time. Um, so anyway, I just had a good time, and I'm excited today because one of the first ways that Preciosa and Swarovski started was with sew-on rhinestones.
Yeah, and we've got some
That's
here that we're gonna
Yeah,
share and talk about.
yeah.
There's a couple of things that I wanna note real quick, JP.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is commenting about how once Winnie and I went for a jewelry show and we stayed overnight at my mom's, and in the middle of the night, she got up and she tried on all of our jewelry. It was very funny. Uh,
Mm,
it was really fun. Winnie is actually the person that hired me my first round at
yeah,
Beadshop. It
yeah,
was great. We've had a lot of great
yeah.
history with her. I also wanted to mention, Leslie asked, "Did anyone ever watch The House of Elliot in which two sisters made haute couture clothes?" Yes, House of Elliot, 3 seasons, I think. One of my favorite, BBC, um, mini series is. If
Mm,
you've
I
never
haven't seen it.
Oh, Janice, the jewelry alone will, put it on your watch list.
I am. I'm writing it right down right
It's
now.
so,
Yeah.
so great. I wanted to, say that, and then there was one more. Oh, and another great one for couture, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, of course. Uh,
Yeah.
Leslie, what's her last name? It'll come to me. I just love her, who plays the title role. But it's a great one. Another great one for couture for sure. Um, okay, well, let me add um my
Yes.
stuff here, and let's take a look. When you were saying Bohemia, Janice, and the African,
Yeah.
this is an old one of those African pieces. This is glass. This is an old Bohemian piece, Bohemian glass that's made to look like carnelian. You remember
Uh-huh.
those? So yeah, these are, I don't know, these are probably 100 years old or so at least. But these old school ones, it'd be nice to find some of these again. But this is that, um, a sample of that, an
Yeah.
example of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we launched a bunch of stuff yesterday.
We
Okay.
did.
And it's all right now in our just in. We are adding some filters. We've added some new categories and stuff, and I'll walk you through that a little bit later. It's all on the homepage. If you go to the shop and you go to Beads and Gems, there's a crystal section, there's a bead embroidery section. So we're getting all of those kind of, with the filters and everything, getting all of those tidied up. If you want to see everything that launched last night, you can go right to our just in section. If you're watching this live on the 4th of March, you'll find everything there. But let me go ahead and lay this out. Janice, why don't we talk a little bit? We've already launched them, but let me bring in the sew-on rhinestones,
Mm-hmm.
because we're going to be getting more of those in. This is something that I know is near and dear to our hearts. So we're going to continue to carry these. But with this piece that I did a couple of weeks ago, let me get my zooming in here. Hang on. Give me just a second to get my camera zooming here. There we go. There it is. You can see these sew-ons. And these sew-ons are known as Rosemontes. They're also known as Chantons. We talked a little bit about these when we launched them. But do you want to share anything about these sew-ons, JP?
Well, I want to share a little bit about the story of Czech rhinestones.
Sure.
Or before they came from Czechoslovakia. They came from Austria, and what was, at that time, there was no Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia was part of the Austrian Empire, and then along came World War I, and um, they had like Bohemia, Moravia, Slovakia, and part of another place. So I did a little more research, probably more than I need to share today. But it was after World War I, sorry, that the Austrian Empire was broken up, and then there was Czechoslovakia. So Bohemia was an area of the Austro-Hungarian Empire where they had been making glass for a long, long time, for several centuries, probably about 300 years. They made all kinds of, like bowls and cups and all kinds of things like that. And then in the late 1800s, the whole area of Bohemia just blew out with the Industrial Revolution, and they started mass producing glass and glass beads and rhinestones, and it was just the beginning, and it was before Swarovski, and Czechoslovakia, including Preciosa, was thank you so much for putting that up. Yeah, they've been around for a long time, and the rhinestones that were used in jewelry, like the Weiss jewelry later in the 50s and earlier, the ones that have the metal backing like ours have more reflection than the ones that are transparent. So you'll see most rhinestones, they'll have like a silver coating on the back. If they're pointed, then they get more reflection than if they're just a flat back. So the flat back rhinestones that we see today in those diamond art, those little tiny ones, those are flat backs, and they don't have the reflection that the point backs do. So this is a good example. That light sapphire and that rose are point backs. I bet they're point backs, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're
This
point.
is vintage, old.
Yeah. And then you can see that they also made rhinestones for jewelry that, imitated precious stones like amethyst, sapphire. That was really popular with Cartier and with Tiffany, and then with jewelry designers in the 40s. These are just gorgeous, Kate.
I just, I have them around as inspiration. Of course, I always have a fancy brooch to hand, Janice.
Yes, you've got to have one. Show us, do you have any others with you?
Let me see. What else do I have? I've got these two. Someday we'll go through my brooch collection. Oh, here's, let's see. Here's just another little Christmas one, but you
Yeah.
can see the cabochons and stuff, all of these, this glass, this is vintage. This is probably from the
Mm-hmm.
40s or 50s thereabout. But all of these were made, as you say, in Europe. And then
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these pins, like this one here, this older one, these were die struck in Providence or near Providence, Rhode Island, die struck and then either plated like this or die struck out of sterling like this one was. And
Mm-hmm.
then they were all set and using
Mm-hmm.
the same techniques as you would set fine stones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly the same, but these were made
Yeah.
for, the mass market starting in, the 40s, post-war,
Mm-hmm.
the 50s and 60s.
That's when everything really took off. And
Mhm.
it's so interesting, Kate, that that piece is sterling silver.
Yeah, this one's
That
sterling,
was
and you can
what
see it
costume
stamped.
jewelry was
Yeah,
made out of,
yeah,
was
exactly.
sterling.
Mhm,
It was so abundant
mhm.
and cheap. Um, yeah, it's fascinating, like to see these old pieces and most of these, if not, I'm going to say most of the companies that were in Providence, Rhode Island, are selling old things,
Mhm,
vintage lots now.
mhm.
Um, I don't know that they're. I guess they're still making jewelry there, but so much is done in Korea and
Yeah,
China now, and we just don't have we
yeah,
don't have the experts. The molds are old.
yeah.
That's what even happened with the molds we had for the channel bangles.
Right,
You
no,
know,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, we have so some of I'm looking around. So this is a stamping from my buddy Kevin Potter, right? And you've seen the jewelry that I make, or you've seen it on my
hmm
personal YouTube channel. The thing that Kevin does is he has bought out, because as you say, Janice, so many of the hubs, the jewelry manufacturers are no longer in business in Providence.
yeah.
A lot of there was a big chain manufacturer that we used to get our chain from back in the day. All of that, when that company closed, a Korean company bought it, and all of that equipment went overseas,
hmm
right? It's gone.
Yeah.
We will never have it again in the US.
Yeah.
You cannot find it. And what wasn't sold was melted for scrap. So
hmm
one of the things that Kevin has done in his career is that um, he's saved a lot of these hubs that would die struck,
hmm
right, that were die struck. So the the dies and everything that were made and used for all of this jewelry, a lot of them you can, Kevin has them and makes the hubs and stuff. It's very, very interesting. You can go to his website. It's Potter USA. They just had Janice, Smithsonian Magazine did a 10-page article. It's coming out, I think, in the April, May issue about, the old jewelry. So it's really interesting. The American costume jewelry world, there's still a few. Janice and I still know them. There's still a few suppliers that we can get out there. But the main industry, as it was even 25 years ago, was is no more, right?
Yeah.
Is no more.
Well, the closest thing that we as current contemporary beaders and jewelry designers is what happened to Tierra Cast.
Mm-hmm.
We went through that as a worldwide beading community where, although they weren't in Providence, they were in California. They had been around since the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they just, the owners just said, we're done,
Right.
and the molds were getting old. And then that's when finally, a year and a half later, a company in Greece
Yeah, pick them up.
started
Mhm.
manufacturing. But it's, it's not that uh, products out of China are terrible. I mean, the wonder of China is that they have the craftspeople.
Hmm.
They have the people who um, are able to make these molds and to produce things that that are now here a lost art. And
Hmm.
unless we bring over those craftsmen from Korea, the Korean chain is really the best chain I've ever come
Yeah, it's
across.
really fantastic, and the
Yeah,
plating and all of it. So it is
yeah,
really a worldwide industry. I wanted to
yeah.
say, Sarah, Miranda has that, and she will get. Oh, it's going out today. She just checked it. So sorry about that delay. Um,
Yeah.
but we're on it for you. Thanks for asking. And you guys can always email us over at info@Beadshop if you have any questions as well. But we love doing customer service on the fly here as well,
Hmm.
for sure. Um, so let me talk a little bit, Janice, then going from these rhinestones, let's
Right,
talk about this collection of bicones that we
right.
just launched. These are so great. And
They're delicious.
we knew that we
Yeah.
had wanted to launch these for a long time. And finally, with the bead embroidery and everything, we're like, you know what? Let's just get some in.
Hmm.
Let's just get it. Right.
Yeah.
So we chose some colors. There's going to be more colors coming, but this is the classic. It's the Preciosa bicone in 4 millimeter and 3 millimeter. You may remember it from the Swarovski crystal days, being the 5301. Back in the day when the stretch bracelet, the bicone stretch bracelet. Do you remember that? What was that? It was like 96 maybe.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right. And it was the bicone stack stretch bracelet. And I don't know if you remember, but I think it was a Nordstrom evolution that kind of happened, a phenomenon. And we would string the
Yes.
bicones just on like the Stretch Magic, or now we would use
Hmm.
the Opalon, and you would stack them, stack them, stack them.
Hmm.
At the store, at Beadshop, the brick and mortar, we had a wall. We would sell them by the gross, 144 pieces. And you would just choose your colors and make your stacks. It was so fun. So
Yeah.
now that Swarovski, we can't really sell it at the retail level anymore. Swarovski kind of changed their model. We Preciosa has really filled in that gap. And we have such really beautiful colors, beautiful finishes. And so we added some in the 4 and in the 3. And we'll be adding more.
Hmm. Yeah. I love that they're just like they have always been. I
Right?
mean, Preciosa didn't just start,
No.
making these. They've been
Right.
making them.
Forever.
It's just that we shied away when Swarovski just got so competitive, and um, it wasn't the market for us.
Hmm.
It was in the 90s, and then we were going, every once in a while I will go, I really wish I had a 5301,
Yeah.
but I learned to live without them. But
Yeah.
um, now I'm ready for them back, and I'm
Yeah.
ready for them not to be Swarovski. I tell you,
I mean, look at
I'm
the
really happy with the
yeah,
quality of these. They're
yeah,
beautiful and
yeah,
affordable.
yeah. Just very, very affordable. This is such a gorgeous color. It's the 3 millimeter. Does Janice, we'll have to find out if they make a 2 mil. I remember those Swarovski 2 mils. I had a little stash of those 2 mils, and I think I used them, or I don't know. Those are long gone. Um,
Yeah.
but the 2 millimeter True Twos and the
Yeah, the
2
True Twos are a
millimeter,
good replacement.
they are. I mean, it's not a bicone, but it is such a really great size. I love these bicones. I think that they are perfect for bead embellishment. They really capture the colors. I love that we got these opal. The Swarovski back in the day, the opal finishes were some of my favorite. And I did see that, Leslie, your tutorial was that ring, right? The ring for March for St. Patrick's Day. I think I saw that already. It's a really great one. Maybe we should do it here live. It was really cool. But these just scream vintage to me, this kind of finish, this color, right?
Yes.
So
I'm sorry. I'm also linking.
you're linking, you're doing it all.
Yeah, I am. You know
I love
me.
it.
So,
Let me also show you then something else, folks, that we launched. So I'll put these aside. You'll
okay.
find these. Stay tuned for more. More are coming. We're also looking at adding, while I'm moving these, for our Great Bead Extravaganza project, we're looking at doing something that's going to involve the crystal pearls,
Mm-hmm.
the glass pearls, which I'm really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Me too.
yeah, Janice and I are talking about that. Because we had so much fun on the last one with you folks. I can't wait for this. We're going to have fun.
Oh, do
Um,
I get to go on with you?
yeah, don't you?
Oh,
Don't
good.
you want to?
I'd like to. It was
Yeah,
fun,
I'm hopeful.
but it's your thing, your
No, it's
shtick.
our thing. It's our thing. All for one, one for all, right? Team. No I in
Mm-hmm.
Beadshop team.
Mm.
So this was, you may remember back in the day, 2 weeks ago, it feels like it was a year ago, right? When I did this piece that I'm working on as my next brooch, right? We use this as a button. And if you go back, we use this center as a button. And if you go back, you saw that I glued this in. I made a little washer with the felt here. But we also have gotten in, and we're going to add more of these from one of our Czech glass vendors. They also make them just as cabochons, right? No shank on the back. So you could set these like a ring. I want to make a fat ring out of this. You could just set them for your bead embroidery. So we got some smaller ones. These are, what are these? 18 millimeter.
18, yeah.
And then this one is maybe like a 32
22.
millimeter.
Oh,
And
maybe
then,
let me look.
let me,
I want to make button earrings out of them.
right? These would be great as earring tops, right?
Yeah.
So
I want
we
to make
just got, I think, 6 little cabs. We didn't get many. But if anyone wants to leave us a big fortune to get to get every bead in the whole world that we love. But these are a really fun start for that. I love this collarette one that has this matte. It's just, again, so vintage, so gorgeous. But you could also use our Czech buttons this way, but these are perfect for the bead embroidery. So those also just launched. They just launched yesterday, and they were great. We have a limited supply, but we're getting some more, so don't worry. These aren't going away. They'll only be adding. Look at this one. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous?
Kate, do you have it is. Kate, do you have your measuring your caliber?
Yeah, I do. Hang on,
Can
let me
you
grab it.
measure the swirl, the larger swirl
Yeah,
one that's
sure,
on the surface?
sure.
Because I think I didn't change maybe it was me. I don't think I changed the size. It says it's 18 millimeter and
Oh,
it's not.
it's not. It is, I'll tell you, Janice, it is, hang on. Let me re-zero. It is 28 millimeters.
Yeah, 28. And the large one that you've embroidered?
This is a button.
Oh, that's a button. Okay. All right. I have to, so if you go to look at the cabochons, I have to change that one to 28 millimeter. I knew it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't 18.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
um,
They're really, really pretty. We try and get all of those measurements in there so
mhm.
you folks can have them.
Yeah.
I also wore today, I wear this all the time. This is the piece that kind of started this whole bead embroidery odyssey for me, and that was the Gatsby mix that I did a while back. And you can see I've got some little chantons in here from my collection, right? Old ones. These are Swarovski chantons. Some pearls. This was such a fun one to do. It has some of the little spacers. So if you saw the mix that I did for March, this was meant to kind of mimic, though this mix will never come back again, but
Mm.
to mimic that Gatsby mix. And so this one's called Fiberline. And I want you to go over to I don't want to go over it today so much because it's all on the website. I kind of got inspiration from the American fiber artist. She's in her 90s now. It's Sheila Hicks, and her kind of story and what she creates. She's a textile artist, a weaver. And so I kind of took my inspiration kind of from her story, and I saw how it really kind of jived with the Gatsby bangle, right?
Mm.
So it was really fun. So this mix is unlike any other monthly mix I've ever made. I want to make another Gatsby bangle with this. You can see the colors might be they're a little bit different, but I really tried to capture the spirit. What I did in this, and let me put this back and let me show you the monthly mix, because then we're going to go on to the last thing that we launched yesterday. But that monthly mix has, and I've already mixed some of what we launched in here yesterday. But it has the bugles, the size 6 bugle. We've got those there, right? Can we see that? Let me scoot in just a little bit. Linda, this bangle has all been stitched. This is all stitched. So if you watch those Gatsby bangle, and I'll put it back on the homepage. If you watch the broadcasts, you see me how I kind of laid this out, stitched everything, and then I glued it into the bangle right here. What I love about these cabochons is, Janice, they fit on these bangles so well.
Yeah, look at that.
So you could incorporate, I think it would be really fun to put some of these in. But back to the mix here, what I did was there are 2 bugles. There are 2 drops. Here it is. It's this aqua lined and
Mm.
this dark topaz AB. The aqua lined is a crystal drop, but the line in there is colored with the aqua, the
Mm-hmm.
metallic aqua. Then I put in 2 half tilas because I can't get enough of a half tila for embellishing. I love 2-hole beads for embellishing, and the tilas really do it for me. So I did it with kind of this Picasso and then this kind of gray luster. Then I added the spacers, and we don't carry this tiny spacer. This is everybody's favorite, the green patina iris. So I got those in the small. I think those are 2 millimeter. And then I put it in the bronze in the 3 millimeter. Okay. And I loved how those look. And you can see in the Gatsby, see how I put them flat and then I stitched like 11s, or maybe those are 15s. I don't know. I was going to add 11s and 15s into this mix, but when we mix small and large kind of like this, sometimes all of the small beads fall to the bottom and it's kind of hard to maintain the mix of the mix. But I would go ahead and grab some 15s and some 11s that you like. We also added this new alabaster because the alabaster finishes, not unlike these opal finishes, are some of my faves. And this, I think it's the cream alabaster is what that is. And then this is the light sapphire AB, I think was the other one that I did. So that's kind of the rhyme and reason behind this kind of crazy, crazy mix that I did. You'll also see some other things that I mixed in here because I'm starting to play around with it. I just dumped some of my sew-on rhinestones in there because I love this is how I get I'm not afraid of mixing like this. This is how I get my inspiration. We just launched some mini duos. Thank you, Danielle, for adding those mini duos to your neon notebook because it really made us take a look and go, why haven't we, carried these before? These are two of the mini duos. This shade is, I'll tell you, the Crystal Violet Luster and the Polychrome Dark Capri Blue, right? And so I just dumped them in there. I know Leslie's saying dumped. Surely you placed them carefully. No, I just went for it. And look at how great they look in that mix, JP.
Yeah.
It's so good. So you can use
everything is listed on the mix page.
It is.
Yeah. So,
but let me show you some of the other mini duos. We dropped 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 10 total or 9 total, I think. There's the one that we launched with Danielle's box. And then these are all of our new ones. I'm going to open them up so you can. I'm going to use this little box here. And the mini duos are not in Fiberline, Cindy. I just put them into my Fiberline, my personal Fiberline that I had here. So you can see the listing in Fiberline, but I added those mini duos in mine, and I added some of the sew-ons in my personal one. So this one, Janice, it is such a beautiful gold. It is the crystal full amber. So it's a crystal bead with that dark amber over it. Then we have a silver counterpart, the crystal full Labrador. I know that some of you are big full Labrador fans, just like we are. Look at those. Can you stand it? I love it.
And the quality. I mean, I go back to vintage and I just remember how beads would peel.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, really, the gold, the metallic finishes,
would peel.
Would just peel off of all those little spacer beads. Oh, they start off silver, they start off gold, and then underneath they're just brass. Yeah.
Look at that gold splash jet. The gold splash is the splash.
It's gorgeous.
In general are gorgeous.
Yeah.
This one is crystal orange rainbow. It's kind of like metallic mix. Right? Kind of the same. Look at those right there. Then we've got, that's the jet. Here's this one. This is jet full AB. Right here. And
that's so pretty.
Yeah, we'll add more of these for sure. Then the ones that I showed you, this is the Polychrome Dark Capri. Look at that blue.
Now you picked out all these colors.
I did?
Yeah.
I did a good job, I guess.
Yeah, you did.
Because I was trying to see how that polychrome and that jet AB, how they really speak to one another,
Uh-huh.
right? Then this, I keep wanting to call it metallic mix, but it's not. It's the crystal orange rainbow. And then this crystal violet luster. See how these also kind of speak to each other. There we go. See that? And then you have these neutrals here, these metallics in the amber, the full Labrador, and then the jet AB. So that was kind of my color story. I wanted something cool, something warm, you know, to kind of play around with. So that was our thinking behind it. And then with Danielle's, I have Danielle's sitting here. Danielle's is the Jet Full Slipperit. Now, Slipperit is an old coating, right? A classic coating. Let me put a few of those there. Look at that. I'm going to put them right there.
I mean, they couldn't come up with a name like that now if they tried.
No, look at it. Look at how great it is.
Yeah.
Slipperit.
Yeah.
Let me get a little tighter in here with it. It must have some kind of meaning, JP, I'm sure.
I have to chat GPT it.
Yeah.
And look it up. Look at how pretty that is. It would also go with the dragonfly.
Yeah.
It'd be really pretty with the dragonfly.
That dragonfly. Let me show you. This is the earring that I made that Christmas with these. But you can see the size difference between the regular GemDuo and the mini. I also remember our mirror mix that we did. If you have the mirror mix, when we did those backlits, the backlit GemDuos are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because like you were saying, Janice, with the vintage rhinestones, these are backed, foil backed is kind of what they call them, but they're silver backed, right? So I know that you folks have the mirror mix. If you don't worry. We'll conjure these up again. Here's a backlit splash. But look at those. They're just gorgeous. So this looks just like a table of vintage goodness, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
I'm so happy about it. I love it. Here's one of those. What are these? The Tutti Frutti, or what are these called? I love them. Tropical. The tropical finishes.
Tropical blue, or
It's really, really great. So that's everything that launched in today. I want to talk to you. Anything else historical or anything, JP, that you want to share?
No, I want to see what you're going to do.
Yeah, me too. So
you too? Yeah.
I do too. We've got about a half hour left. So I want to start doing a little bit of laying out and sharing with you about maybe how to go about doing some rhinestone stuff. This was, I'll take this pin off. You've seen this pin. This is the pin I did a while back with the mix that the Valentine's mixes that we had. And that kind of is like a scatter technique. That's kind of like what I call on that dress that you took that photo of from Christian Siriano. This feeling to it. So if we look at, like, let's say that something like this is our goal, right? And remember, I brought those ties out that I got at the thrift store,
Mm-hmm.
right? You'll remember. So I really suggest going to the thrift, grabbing yourself some cool ties, or you could do this with something, like a scarf or something else like that. But you know what? I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to mix those in. Let's do that. That's about a cap full of each to get this little mix in here. Let me just throw them right on down. Let me give myself something to work on. I've been working on kind of this purple mix here, and you can see I've got the chantons on there. But let's go ahead. I'm going to cut myself just a piece of this ultra suede. And I'm not even going to draw a shape. I'm just going to do this kind of freeform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And let's go ahead and let's place maybe 2 of these. I don't know. Which 2 do we like? I want to do it smaller. I don't know.
They're
it's like
all beautiful.
Favorite child. I like this. Maybe those 2.
Well, you know what we were talking about on Friday is start with what you know for sure. And if you can't go any further, then don't push yourself. So
Right.
if you really like the try button, you do that one and
Mm-hmm.
wait a little bit.
Yeah, that's
You
true. I
don't
can
have to
start
do
with
it
this
right
one.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, start with that. See where
And
it
I'm not
takes
going to
you.
put it in the center. I'm going to put it offset.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get a little closer into here. Okay, there we go. Now let's just get some E6000 and glue this sucker down.
Now you're talking.
Right?
What did Miranda say?
Miranda said, now we're talking. Glue that
Yeah.
cab down. Gonna get it on my little stick here.
I am just so impressed that glue, this is another thing. Glue has improved.
Yeah, really has.
That this glue will hold that cab down or all those beads on Kate's bangle.
Yeah, this one was
It's
stitched.
really a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, I have glued. I did that other bangle that has the gluing in. It's great, and the stiffening products, like
Yeah.
this one.
Diamond
Right?
glaze.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just a miracle.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a mitzvah.
A mitzvah. Yes. Speaking
Okay.
of which, Purim is here.
Is
Or
it
was
Purim?
here. Yeah. Yep.
Not on my calendar, so I didn't notice.
Mm.
Look at that. That's awesome. So now what I'm going to do is let's audition. This is what my mom and I call auditioning. When you audition fabric, you look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to audition some colors.
Maybe now you want to take the other button you were thinking of and putting that nearby to see how that looks with.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Is that better? I never do pink.
It's very interesting. How does the sunflower with that big yellow center look? Yeah, is that too expected? I guess that's too expected.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a little,
And maybe it's not time for that. Maybe I want to do like another motif with something
yeah,
else.
maybe.
So I'm just going to stay this. Okay. I'm just going to stay with this. But what
Mhm.
I am going to do is I want to show you folks something new with the stitching. We are going to do some couching.
Oh,
And
fun.
I'm going to use my Fireline. You can use KO. I have Fireline because it's still sitting here with what I'm working on, right? Still here.
Mhm.
So that's what's to hand. This strand, Cindy, is the,
Is it the blonde?
the light, um,
Blonde, crystal blare blonde.
crystal
Blonde flare.
crystal blonde flare.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut some Fireline. Maybe, I don't know, like a wingspan. And I'm going to go ahead and needle this thread. I'm going to use a Sharps size 10 because, again, that's also what's sitting here. You could use a regular beading needle, right? I'm going to come in, I'm going to tie my knot. I'm going to go through once, twice, 3 times, slide this down. You could also use felt, right? You don't have to use ultra suede. You could use if you want to repurpose something you've got around the house. But our ultra suede, now we have so many beautiful colors. And it feels so good in the hand. It's really fun to work with. So I'm just going to start down here, JP. I'm going to start, I guess I'll start this one in the back. Sometimes I start in the front, but I'm going to do a stay stitch, just a up and down, needle down, right? Little stay stitch there. Miranda, you're getting hellos.
Hi.
Miranda says hello. She's feeling like a villain. We just, while I'm stitching, I want everybody to know our Emily too. She's doing better. She had a pretty major procedure, everybody. So she's getting better by the day. But we really wanted to make sure that she felt very safe in her work environment. So we are not pressuring her to come back until she is 100%. She's going to be back soon, but we really thank you for your patience. But we really want to make sure that our team member is feeling good. So she'll be back soon. But we're working as fast as we can without our dear Emily too. So we want her to feel supported and loved. So that's what we're doing. So see here, Janice, how many have I put on? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Let's make it an even 10.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to go needle down. Like this. And these are just stitched on. Okay. Kind of loose, but that's what we're looking for. Okay. I'm going to come in through maybe the last 2. Then you're going to see how Emily has shown us this too. Emily 1.
And this is called couching.
It's going to be couching. You're going to see I'm going to couch this. This is a running stitch here. So I had 10. I'm going to put on 10 more. 2, 4, 6. See how I keep them on? This is when I don't mix. I keep them on my strands so it's easy for me to transfer off. And here's 4, so there's 10 more.
So Christine is saying she likes to work with a hoop or a frame.
Yeah.
Is it a little hard to put the ultra suede in a hoop?
No,
I mean-
what you could do, let me finish this stitch. Let me finish this thought, and then I'll talk to you about hoops and frames because I've got one down here. What I would do with this ultra suede that I have here, I wouldn't hoop over this ultra suede because you'll get something called hoop burn, which means that the hoop will permanently kind of crease this.
Yeah.
What you could do though is stitch this, hoop a piece of cloth, like Ada cloth. You've seen me do that before.
Right.
Which is like needlepoint cloth or even just a piece of cotton or a piece of chiffon. And then you would do a loose basting or running stitch and stitch this onto that piece of fabric that's in your hoop. You could do that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So you could do that too if you wanted. I mean, you could hoop this if it were big, right? If you had a big piece of it or whatever, or you didn't really, that would definitely be waste though with this. So see here how I've kind of made this into kind of a little serpentine kind of a thing. And Cindy, I'll show you the hoop stand, the hoop that I have. I'll show it to you. I have one for needlepoint that I really like, and I have a smaller one that's actually sitting here in the studio right now. So here is my little serpentine. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to couch this. So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to go needle up right here at the end. And with couching, what couching is it's a stitch that goes either from the right to the left or the left to the right over this strand. Okay. And you can couch with beads or not, but you can move your beads. I'm going to couch this so it has a little bit more of a soft angle to it. Okay. So I did needle up. Now I'm going to come through maybe every 4. Okay. I'm going to come through the center. I'm going to needle down next to the strand. Needle up. Next to the where I went down.
Are you doing it, Kate, with every bead?
No, I've gone like 4.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm couching over the strand that it's strung on. Can you see that there? So it locks it in. Okay. Now I'm running my stitch up through the beads because I only ran it through once. But if you have like a strand here, like let's say that you're using maybe a pre-strung strand, maybe like this, right? You could come in, you would have to needle up, string everything on, needle down. So this has a lot of movement here. And you could just come and like couch a little closer together and stitch this down without going through the beads, if that makes sense. So you would kind of, you know,
Piggyback it. Is that what you do?
going needle down. What I can do is just needle down, needle up under the strand like this. I could do this too. And then bring it over the top like that. There's some different ways that you can couch, but the idea, the result is the same. So see here, I'm coming up here. I'm going to come here and I'm going to make this turn right here to those 4. And see, this is really tightening. See how this is all kind of loose, but this here is not. Okay, does that make sense? How that couching, it's just kind of locking everything in. So I'm going to go here, I'll go under, I'll go needle down, needle up to the other side. It's catching on everything. Lock it in and move forward through my beads. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go through, push them down. Needle down, needle up. And I'm doing every 4 so that these kind of have long, you know, long strands like this. You could do this every 2 if you really wanted to manipulate the shape, right? You would manipulate the shape with every 2, but I'm manipulating the shape with every 4 beads. So see how this is a little bit of a wider curve. But if you were doing something a little tighter, you know, you might want to do it a little bit of a different way. There's no wrong answer here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go under and up. See that thread? It's coming right down so it tightens.
Very clever.
And up. This is also, Cindy is saying, yes, the indigenous bead artist tacking down. I've heard that term before too. It helps the bead lay flat. I think couching is similar. I think it may just be a different term. A lot of times couching is also referred to when you add something that's an embellishment over the top of this too. Like if I were to use some little 15s to kind of make my little, like a little bridge over the top. But in essence, that's what we are doing. We are simply tacking down this strand. Okay. So now that I have a kind of a line here, it's giving me some, I'm going to do this one more time. Kind of giving me a little bit of direction. And I'll go through these final ones right here. There we go. And needle down. And I'll finish it off back here. I'll come in, I'll stitch a loop. And again, you might want to use a thread maybe that matches a little bit. I'm using this white so you can see what I'm doing on the background. but you may want to, your experience may differ. Again, I'm using Fireline. I don't mind this using Fireline for bead embroidery. I kind of like the stiffness of it. Now I'm going to try and pull this so I get this knot nice and tight here. See how I'm putting my needle in the middle of that knot? Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to pull this knot tight. And there we have it. Okay. And I'll come in with my clippers for my Fireline. And of course, this will be backed, so I'll have a little bit of a tail there. That's fine. So, and I can come in and like if I wanted, if this were a little loose or I wanted to like push this in a little more of an S shape or whatever, I could just come in and continue that couching. Okay, but there's my line. That's how my line has finished.
Well,
Now,
also when you add more beads and things, it's going to possibly push the line
yeah,
of beads around, you know, so it
Yeah.
depends on what you do.
no,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, I love the idea. I don't know why I'm feeling this, but I am. This makes kind of a wonderful little vine kind of a feeling, especially these orange crystal rainbow have such nice little, look at how nice that is.
It's lovely. Hey, Kate, I'm going to head out now
Oh, it's
because
about
I
that
have
time,
to.
isn't it? Well, let me put you
Yeah.
back on the thing, JP. I'll
Okay, so
finish
I can
this
say
thought,
goodbye to everyone.
and then I'll
Sorry, I
sign
have to
off.
leave.
No,
but
I love it.
I
Thanks,
got it.
JP. What great stories you had for us. I'll wrap this up, and I'll see
Yeah.
you folks. I'll be on Friday with Danielle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not ending right this minute,
No.
but I have to go. So
All right. Thanks,
okay.
JP.
Thanks,
We'll talk soon.
everyone. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. So let me just finish this thought, and then we'll finish up for today. So I think that these bugles might be kind of a nice one in between there. And where this will finish, I think, will probably be some kind of a patch or something. But I think I'm going to do that little vine going all the way down. And then, not unlike that Christian Siriano kind of scatter piece, maybe I'll fill in with just some scattered pieces there. I'm not sure, but we're going to let that let that kind of play out. This is a great tip, Leslie. Lay out and take some photos. 100%. We'll play around. I'll play around with that because I also really like these the Tylas here. Some interesting motifs like that. These crystals, that's the same one, Cindy, that you liked. This is that. What were we saying, Miranda?
Crystal blonde flare.
Crystal blonde flare is this one. Is that color. This one is the rose opal. This one is the velvet, crystal velvet, I think. That one has that velvet coating. This one's their Bermuda blue. And this one is blue zircon, 3 mil. So pretty. So pretty. So anyway, that gives you a little bit of an idea about how to do the couching. Super fun, I think. Really great session today. I think we had a lot of fun talking a little bit about the history, about some ideas with the bead embroidery. All month I'm going to be popping in. I'll have a stitch in hopefully soon to play around with some more stitching time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, right? You can jump over to our Just In section, find everything that we launched this morning in the Just In, and then keep your eye out for more things because I love that you love this as much as we love this. So more of this fun embellishing stuff is coming. I promise you. I will be on Friday with Danielle. We're going to be doing the Tutti Frutti project back from her neon notebook. It's my fun little project that I am sharing. I'm going to be working on that today. So I don't know. I have a couple of competing ideas in my mind. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'll see you Friday with Danielle. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate you being here, as always, and your kind patience, your kind feedback. We couldn't do it without you folks. So thank you all. And as Annie says, awesome. I'll see you all on Friday. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.